Welcome to the YNE podcast.
Right. Recently, since after the election, there's been things happening in this country, and not just in this country, globally, because of the position of United States. Whatever they do affects, the rest of the world, whether it's their monetary policy, whether it's their foreign policy, or whatever. Everything they do here affects. Today, I wanted us to discuss how the government activities, their policies, everything is affecting our daily lives, like grocery prices, job market, the housing market. I wanted to ask you how you think, the government policies and the activities affected the cost of grocery and what we can do about it as a people.
Yeah, politics or government policies and the economy intertwined. Different administrations come into office and they implement different government policies. Some will favor the consumers, some will favor the business. And in the United States, it's a capitalist economy, and a lot of the government policies focuses on helping businesses thrive because we believe in the trickle down economy. And a lot of people have been campaigning against the trickle down economy lately, saying that the wealth is not even being passed down like it should be or like it's been expected to be passed. If you remember during COVID, a lot of these big businesses got PPP loans. Some of them got tax breaks in order for them to be able to provide job security for their people, in order for them to pay their pay their employees, even if they don't have to work or if they don't have to produce anything. And we can see that a lot of these organizations, a lot of these big businesses didn't pass down the wealth to the employees. We saw a big jump in a lot of companies' stock prices, and a lot of the big executives in these big organizations made a lot of money while they left their employees high and dry. Compare that to some other countries in Europe and Canada. Some countries pay their people to stay home and not worry about working. But here in the US, it wasn't like that. Even though we did get some stimulus checks, maybe twice or three times, but I believe the stimulus didn't really do much. A lot of people stayed home. We couldn't spend the money. Some people saved the money. Some people invested the money. Some people spent it on, luxury items because they didn't work for it. It was free money from the government. And a lot of people didn't really see that impact. And I believe that's one of the things that actually contributed to the inflation that we're seeing today. So politics and economy are deeply interconnected. Because when government make policies, it either helps businesses to reduce costs or businesses make more money. And it can lead to economic growth. It can lead to less money in the pocket of the consumers. These are the driving factors for majority of the issues we are seeing in the economy.
Thank you for highlighting all those things. From the idea of a trickle-down economy is still up there, still very debatable. People are still debating it. There are a lot of people that of the school of thought that, trickle-down economics doesn't really work. You give these companies, tax break, and then, they just pocket the money and they don't, open up more businesses. They do not reinvest the money into their businesses. They simply give it back to the shareholder. It's still very debatable. So depending on the, side of the aisle, the side of the political divide you belongs to, if you are a Republican, a conservative, you probably definitely favor trickle-down economics. But if you are a Democrat, you will argue that it doesn't work. For me, I find myself in the middle. I think it works and I think it don't work. Depending on, I think it just depends on the companies and their morality, their moral standard. That is my take on that. And on the issue of the grocery, yeah, just like you outlined, the government policies, have a way of affecting us, the common people. But the government of the day seems to favor the big corporations. They are very much interested in giving them tax breaks. in the end, maybe they think, they will reinvest the money and then provide jobs and then job security for people. We'll just see how it goes. This is a very young administration. Is not even up to 5 months, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and see how everything goes. I think we still have another 3 plus years of this administration, and we'll see how it goes. One thing is sure, the prices of grocery is skyrocketing. People can no longer afford grocery. You go to Walmart, you spend $100 and you come out with two bags. Before it wasn't like that. Before COVID, it wasn't like that. Just like you pointed out, maybe the effect of the handouts we got from during the COVID is still, affecting the economy. Maybe people still have this money, so maybe that's what is driving up the cost. We also know that has been a lot of, tariff wars, going on between U.S., Canada, Brazil, and Mexico. So that could also be the reason why the prices of produce has been very, very expensive. Take eggs, for example. The other day I went to Sam's Club. I bought a carton of eggs for like about, I think it was $35, and that used to be about $18. So there has been a significant jump in that. So, um, depending on who you vote, or regardless of who you vote for, we can all agree that the activities of the government of the day is just affecting we the common people. That's a fact.
Okay. And I know during COVID, there was a lot of emphasis on supply chain issues because of the lockdown in many countries. But today, the supply chain is caught up and we're still having issues in regards to the issue of eggs. We've heard that there are bird flu out there. There's killing all the chickens, so they're not laying eggs. And I do want to add to what you just said that the issue of trickle down economy boils down to the moral compass of an organization. Well, I would like to say that organizations and business to make money. The, non-profit organizations are different from for-profit organizations. As we know, America is a capitalist economy and organizations are there to maximize profit. And I'm sure that's one of the reasons we're seeing a lot of layoffs at this moment because there are a lot of inefficiencies, there's a lot of redundancy in a lot of organizations. And organizations are looking to cut waste, they're looking to cut inefficiencies and make more money for their stockholders. And Doge is doing the same thing for the American government. We can debate whether they're being truthful in what they're cutting or whether they're giving us some bogus information. Doge is cutting costs. They're affecting the lives of Americans negatively. A lot of American senior citizens are not sure of what Doge is doing. They're not sure if the Social Security check is going to come in. We're going to hear in the news, hey, Doge is cutting Social Security. Tomorrow we're hearing, hey, they're not cutting Social Security. So there's a lot of uncertainties out there that are affecting the lives of people. But I still think that that economy does not work for individuals. It works for the businesses. It works for big businesses because they are in it to make money. And organizations would like to maximize their profit and make money for their shareholders. The executives can get richer.
You're definitely right. That businesses are in business to make money. But the issue, businesses and morality can also be debated. There's a lot of companies out there, at least a few companies out there that, still have the moral decency, to do, what is right. And we thank God that, there is always a change of government every 4 years. And we thank God that this is going to be the last, year of Donald Trump. But, I like him. I voted for him. But a lot of the things he's doing, I don't subscribe to them because I don't just like them. And then hopefully Democrats will know how to play opposition and be focused on the things that truly matters and stop paying attention to things that people don't really care about. They are grandstanding, they are just grandstanding and not playing their role as opposition. And hopefully those elections that will be coming up, they win some of those elections and that will give them the strength that they need in the house to stand up to whatever that is going on right now. And that will probably give them the edge to win the next election. How about the job market? Because I feel like what is happening to the job market is not solely politics. I think it has to be with efficiency, like you say, inefficiency that a lot of companies are taking care of their inefficiencies. But I think the issue of the job market right now is mainly driven by automation and AI. People are trying to get more, achieve more with less. People are implementing automation, getting rid of people, where you will need like 10 people or 20 people. If you implement automation and you implement it right, you might just be needing 2 people. Take, for instance, Walmart. Self-checkout is automation right there. In fact, the next phase of that may be for them to put it on your phone that where you'll be able to, just like self-scope, as you are shopping, you can be scanning with your phone and just check out and walk right out of the door. Somebody will just verify your receipt and that'll be it. So instead of needing 50 employees, you end up needing only 10 employees or 5 employees, and the rest of the people will just go and fend for themselves. So I think the issue of the job market has nothing to do with politics. Though the federal government is laying off a lot of people, hiring a lot of people, but I think it's mainly driven by the automation and the AI. What do you think?
Yeah, I do agree with you that layoffs are driven by the technological advancement, AI being one of them, automation being one of them. And like I said, profit is part of the deal as well. The companies are in it to make money. And if you're not meeting their target, it's going to affect their executives' compensation. It's going to affect the stock price. So they want the stock price to look good. They want the balance sheet to look good. That's why you see a lot of companies laying off their people at the end of the year. At the end of 2024, there was a lot of layoffs reported on the internet. These companies were trying to make their balance sheet look good going into the new year. And here we are in the new year again. The consumer confidence is down. Consumer spending is down. Consumers don't have a lot of money to spend. And even people with money, they're being conservative without to spend their money. So a lot of companies having to resort to laying people off to balance their budget, balance their costs for the first quarter. So we'll see when a lot of companies start announcing their Q1 result. We'll see how everything goes. Hopefully the job market will pick up in second quarter and we'll go from there. But at this point, everything is looking bleak. We'll see what policies the government will implement to make things better for their people. But at this time, we're still talking about tariffs. There's still uncertainties about tariffs kicking in. Because the administration is saying tariffs is, coming on in a few weeks, and then, when we approach the date that they've mentioned, they'll postpone it or push it back again. So we'll see what the second quarter brings, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, you are definitely right when you say that companies want to be profitable and at the heart of everything is profit. But I can also tell you that these companies has always been profitable. It's not like they've not been making profit. What is happening to these companies and the reason why they are going to the automation route is number one, greed. Just people, it's pure greed. People are just greedy. They just want to make several profits. Several percentages of profit, and then there's nothing wrong, with that. Because they, taking the risk to run the business, so they deserve everything good from their investment and from their risk. Yeah, but the idea of implementing automation is purely is based on greed. Then second one is well, let's face it, is a lack of labor. A lot of times, these companies they struggle in labors and they don't have enough hands to do their work. Like in my company, a lot of times people don't even show up to work. So if a company like that is implementing automation, yeah, I wouldn't really blame them for doing that because since the COVID, it's been very difficult to get people to work. So that is another reason why companies are implementing automation. When they automate these systems, the system doesn't take vacation, they don't take time off, they don't fall sick, they don't surprise you by not showing up to work. You know that once you implement this automation, you are sure that your operation will run smoothly. There will not be any issue with your operation. you'll be able to meet up with your customer demand and then everything else in between. So I don't really blame them to a large extent. But sometimes I know a lot of companies like Amazon is purely greed. Like all those big companies is pure greed that is happening to them. They just want to make profits. That's it. They don't care about it.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. The companies want to make more money. They want to make more profit. They've always been profitable. I definitely agree with you. But 8 billion sounds better than 4 billion. So we always want to break records. We're always competitive, trying to beat our targets, trying to beat forecasts for the quarter. So that's part of it. And the second part of government policies, for example, that's affecting our grocery price is immigration. We know that historically the undocumented immigrants have been the one taking care of the farmers. They've been the ones taking care of produce from the farm to shelves at the grocery stores. But with the increase in the number of immigration raids, a lot of immigrants are starting to head back to their home countries. A lot of immigrants are afraid to go to work. They're afraid to go out. So we have big demand for grocery items, but little supply. So the price is going to go up. It's just economy. So right now we're having an issue of supply and demand. The demand is there, but the supply is not there because the farmers can't get anybody to harvest their crops, to harvest their items for them to be profitable enough to be able to make money off. Because a lot of these farmers cannot afford the minimum wage in some places. They can be profitable paying their farmers $50 an hour, $40 an hour. So they rather pay undocumented immigrants a lot less money. They don't have to worry about benefit for them. They're passing on the cost of their operations to the consumers. So I believe that's one of the reasons we're seeing higher grocery prices at this point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it can be surprising, but when you look it up quickly, you can quickly realize how a lot of these pieces affect our daily life. And we'll definitely continue this topic on our next episode. Stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and then comment, and then recommend this podcast to your friends, family, and everybody that you know. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for joining us. Help us get to a goal of 1,000 subscribers. And we look forward to your comments in the comment section. Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you all one more time and have a good day.